This week on City News, we've been sharing with you one man's decision to move forward with medical assistance in dying. Presently, there's proposed amendments to the law sitting before the Senate, though there's some who believes Bill C-7 would go too far and leave our marginalized communities vulnerable.
There is a history in this country of legislating this idea that disabled people don't have the right to exist.
Sarah Jama is an activist and organizer with the Disability Justice Network of Ontario. She also has cerebral palsy.
So when you have a government that is allowing people the choice to die without really funding the choice to live and to survive in our countries, it scares me.
Canada's current medically assisted death law states death must be reasonably foreseeable for someone to qualify. In 2019, Quebec's disability community won a Superior Court ruling stating that criteria infringed on their rights. The federal government is now on deadline to update the laws, including by removing the clause that death must be imminent. If passed, someone with a disability or chronic pain could access what's also known as MAID.
It's about autonomous decision-making, respectful of life, respectful of death.
Sarah Jama has asked to speak in front of the Senate. She believes we must put proper supports in place first for marginalized members of society before opening the laws around medically assisted death.
I'm worried about the people who didn't really have a choice to begin with.
My symptoms living with rheumatoid arthritis and fibromyalgia have primarily been chronic pain. Bill C-7 went into place a few years ago. That's something I may have considered at the time.
For those whose death isn't reasonably foreseeable under the proposed rules, they must first complete a 90-day assessment period. But River Holland Valad points out it took 4 years for them to receive a diagnosis.
I think we're going to need some really robust assessment processes to really suss out for the people who don't have a reasonably foreseeable natural death. Have they really either tried everything? Are they informed about all their options?
However, the federal government says the proposed changes come after feedback from thousands of Canadians.
The vast majority of Canadians support this. The vast majority of the Canadian medical community supports this. And it is something that we have determined to be part of the rights that we have as Canadian citizens under the Charter.
Another proposed amendment to the legislation would remove the need to have to consent right up to the moment you're going to die. Dr. Weiss says that would ease the concerns of terminally ill patients who worry they'll lose the capacity, though some members of the disability community say this needs to be looked at through the lens of communities who've been historically traumatized by our medical system. I'm Adrian Gobriel for City News.